The topic of Hurndig has been coming up a lot lately, and I've made crazy bold claims like he's the most slept on legendary in the game, and he's insanely good. Lots of people should be building him and using him all over the place. I've even said you can use him in every single area of the game. So I'm going to try to back up those claims today, and you let me know if you agree or disagree. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. I'm a little bit late uploading today because I was fiddling around getting stuff ready for the live stream later today. We will be streaming on the test server. We can look at the new fusion, and we're going to do a lot of different things. I was setting up commands for the YouTube side of the stream, all different kinds of stuff, and that took longer than anticipated. So now I'm just getting to this amazing content with one of my favorite of all time champions in Raid. And I just love Hurndig so much. He was one of my primary champions on this account for the longest time. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to build him in a variety of different ways. At least that's my plan. And I want to tell you how you can use him and utilize him to the best of your ability. Before I do that, I really just think you need a little bit of buy-in power here. So I want to show you this. This was a team that I was working on about a month ago, I would say, and since then I've removed Hurndig from the team and moved a bunch of people around and done a whole bunch of different things. However, this is a great example of how powerful he is here. He's not in my best gear by far in this team. It is hard Hydra, okay, sure, but 130 million. 130 million without my best gear, without a 6-star blessing, without the new blessing we're going to change him to today. And yes, also Valkynon is such a beast, okay? Such a beast. I love Hurndig. He's freaking good, and you can clearly tell from this team here. I'll show Supreme Gallic as well. You can clearly tell from this team that Hurndig is so good. And actually, I think Hurndig would have had more damage if Supreme Gallic wasn't in the team, and that was somebody like Uko maybe. Somebody different for block buffs, because Hurndig would have had the HP burn damage also. Yeah, he's really that good, and I'm so excited to share this with you today. So, Hurndig, why is he good? Well, he gets extra turns when he kills somebody on his A1, which is important. He is your decreased defense champion, and he can do decreased accuracy as well. He has a full depletion of the turn meter, and it will add weaken and HP burn. And then I think his passive is good. His passive is good. I don't think his passive is his best part about his kit, but all of that stuff works together really well. Okay, so before we jump in here, I want to show the accessories. This is just, a normal attack ring with attack percentage. We have a crit damage amulet, and I wanted to make sure that you realize that we're not getting very much out of this ascension. Of course, I would like to switch that. Would be helpful as well. And then over here, the banner is pretty crazy, okay? But I do think that it's necessary to have the best type of banner that you can, because we want some pretty high speeds on him. I would say our goal is to get him over 250 speed, but there are going to be some options for him at lower speeds, which is fine too. You can run him fast or slow or anywhere in between and customize him to your account So let's get the first build ready and talk about that. Maybe this will be the best build? I don't know. I wish that I had my original build, but it didn't save it in the presets because I guess I must have stolen his gear. So let me try to get an accessible build first, and then we'll move on to what I would love to run on him right now. All right, here we go. You'll have to let me know how close I got to reasonably accessible. But we have 234 speed, 5400 attack, 231 crit damage, and over 350 accuracy. I will get a little bit of area bonuses probably, but I don't think anything crazy that's going to change it. And like, obviously this is the stats that we're looking for here, okay? So, what do I like about this build? That has all of the stats that you need, and we're using Savage Gear as well, and Perception to try to get to the speed and accuracy requirements. I'll work on another build after this to show you what I would do to fully utilize his power, but basically it would just be more attack, more speed, more crit damage, while keeping the same amount of accuracy. So that's what I would do here. Let's jump into all of the areas that you can use him in the game, which is just literally everywhere, okay? Like, he can be your campaign farmer. You can use him in every dungeon team. He can go in your faction war team. He can be your arena nuker. I wouldn't probably use him in Demon Lord Clan Boss unless you're super early game. Speaking of which, I need to run my keys. Hydra, obviously we've seen him in Hydra in that earlier picture there. And Doom Tower and Curse City. So basically every area of the game, which there are so few champions you can actually say that about in the game. I was asking my dude Liam about the build, and he said that's too much attack, but that's what we're going to go with. If you can't get that much attack, then, you know, just get as much as you can. Okay. But also, thank you so much. I appreciate you, my dude. All right, so let's jump into let's just go through all the game modes. How does that sound? We'll just do all the things, and I'll show you all the places. Okay, starting off with 12-3 Brutal. We got some dogs, you know, because of the fusion. And you can see here, we're going to clear all of the waves. Then he's going to kill somebody and then cycle back through. 9 seconds. Which, you know, like, obviously you can't ask for a lot more than that. And I used him as my campaign farmer actually for a while. Now, as for dungeons, this will depend on how far into the game you are. Like, if you're in the normal spider, he's going to be a beast because he's going to control the turn meter. He's going to do decreased defense, all the things you want him to do. And in a desperate situation, he can place HP burn as well, but you'd want to rely on somebody else for that. Same thing with Fire Knight. Like, he can come in there, control the turn meter on normal Fire Knight. But most of you guys, I've even done takeovers for like really mid-game players who are on hard mode dungeons, and I think a lot of you are in that spot. But you can use him there. I think the place that I really want to show him off is over here in these type of dungeons. Like in Minotaur, for example, he can be your farmer. Your, what do I want to say this? Your Minotaur champion? What do you what do you want to call this? The person who does your Minotaur. I'm sure it has a name that I'm just like absolutely forgetting about right now. So let me find a champion who needs masteries. Probably somebody brand new. Like an epic that I'm going to be leveling up. Catacomb Counselor, you sound great. So, Catacomb Counselor is great for some Curse City stuff. And you can use him in other areas if you really need, but like this build, definitely good enough to farm Minotaur. Catacomb Counselor going to give us a little ally attack there, which is sweet. But Hurndig, perfectly capable of soloing Minotaur. And hopefully Plarium will be giving us some type of new levels or a quick clear for Minotaur so that we can spend more time in other areas of the game. I didn't really want to like show the run, but like he can duo the Arcane Keep with basically any support champion, a reviver, a healer, you know, maybe Vizix, just like basically any type of support champion. I think he can come in here and basically do the whole thing if you want to run food while you're also getting potions. And that's pretty sweet. Or you can put him in a full team and he can be your decreased defense champion, and then also will help that whole team if you want a full team in here for it to be faster. Okay, but like, yeah, all of that's great, but you want some like really powerful ways to use him. So if the Hydra team wasn't good enough, let's hop over to a couple other game modes where you can see him in action as well. So if you want to use him in Arena, a nice setup would be with Lady Kimmy, as long as you're not afraid of being sheeped. Like against this team, that's not going to work out so well, okay? But against basically other teams, that's going to be just fine. So, I mean, like, here we go. That's my white king and queen team. And then here we go. Ultimate Death Knight you could put in to protect him. You could put another damage dealer, somebody in bolster, another reviver. But basically what I'm saying is like Hurndig can come in here and be your arena nuker as well. So we have like a normal Arbiter boost. We have the Lady Kimmy. And then usually I would want to do the A3 so that I hit somebody and then go again. Okay, and you can see there he was definitely good enough to kill almost all of the champions. You can use him on auto. Let's go like, where's like a little bit tankier of a team? I don't know if this is gonna be okay or not, but we can try it. We'll see, because there's probably going to be Stone Skin here. There's probably going to be a lot of nonsense. We're going to lose to Armands. What happened there? I don't know, but we're killing the team. I think we got resisted on the turn meter, so we didn't get his additional attack. But even so, we were still able to take out a reasonably tanky team. Lady Kimmy putting in work there. Okay, but there's another area of the game that I think is just so important, and that is going to be in the Doom Tower. In the Doom Tower, he can do so much, okay? He can go in any team in the Doom Tower, but in particular, I have run him in the Scarab. And I've run him in the Scarab in a team like this. And you can certainly put him in any team with the Scarab as long as you, first of all, use the correct aura, which would be like that. But you would, in this case, you would have to make sure that he has a blood shield accessory like this. Okay, there you go, Liam. He's got less attack now. That'll lower his attack to 5,100. But in this team, he can do all the things you need him to do. Obviously, you don't need Constantine here. He's just like in there. You don't need none of these champions are important. The only thing that's important is that they have blood shield accessories. And actually Vlad works very, very well here because he's going to decrease the turn meter and he has a decrease max HP thing. I don't know where my destroy gear is right now, but having a destroy set is obviously great as well. I'll run this and then we'll hop to the screen. Okay, I don't really want to RNG this morning. The Hurndig team is going to be a little bit rough when the Scarab is force. And, like, this is more like the type of team that I would put with him. And then again, all of these champions are magic. So he is great in the Scarab, but you do need to be careful of who you're putting him with in the team. And also, if you can get champions in Destroy, like if your goal was to use him in this team specifically, I would probably build him in Destroy so that you can get through that shield, like the Scarab Super Shield. But I wanted to mention this team here as well, because this is the same type of team that I would recommend using on Dark Fae. Now, we don't have Dark Fae in here, so I can't really give you like a look at Dark Fae right now, but Dark Fae is one of the main areas that I've used him in the past. And he is so good there because of all of the things we've spoken about already. You can even, if you just want to manually clear it, you can A1 to clear all of the champions on your team. Now, we wouldn't want to use my White Queen Ancora in that team because she's in Stone Skin, but I don't think that they get your gear, so it could be okay, but she's pretty tanky. So you want to, when you're building a Dark Fae team, you want to do a team that can easily be killed by your nuker, whoever that is. If you're going to go do this, you need to have a seamless transition. So, for example, you probably would want Hurndig, the second fastest champion, so that Lady Kimmy boosts Hurndig, Hurndig kills your team for Dark Fae, and then the rest of your team goes. But it's this same type of setup here, and then you can customize the White Queen Ancora to whoever you need it to be on your account. But there's so many ways to use Hurndig that you should definitely be doing it. Let's think about if I missed anything here other than the fly in my face. I think that's all of the important things that I wanted to share with you today. Let's take a look at what the build would look like if I put him in a little bit of an upgraded gear setup so you can see what maybe you want to push for on your account as well. Okay, so if I was going to put him in some a little bit more endgame gear that's not being really used on my account, I'm not taking from anybody. Like, this is the build I'm going to leave him in, basically, is what I'm saying. So, here is his total stats if I put him really where I want him to be. Of course, he could be even better than this, but I will utilize some area bonuses or an increased accuracy buff to get him up to the accuracy standards, or an accuracy aura, that would be great as well, getting him up to 6k attack and 300 crit damage and adding some more speed. So this build can really do a ton of work, but you could see the previous one was perfectly fine for all of the content. So either way, what do you think of my dude Hurndig? Have I convinced you that you should be building and using your Hurndig in so many different places? Let me know, and of course, I always appreciate your feedback on these types of videos, so, you know, that's cool too. Come on out to the live stream later. We're going to hang out and do a bunch of great, fun things. I look forward to seeing you there, and I'll see you also in the next video.